We changed the topic this morning with a look at Sabrina Herrera. This is her picture from 2018, the former Elkins High student, murdered at the age of 19 as she prepared to start college. The man who did it was her boyfriend of 5 years, who told police that no one else deserved her if she wouldn't be with him. He was sentenced to 45 years, but those on the front lines of advocacy say it didn't have to happen. Maisha Coulter is CEO of ABDA, Aid to Victims of Domestic Abuse. Erica Rivera, Sabrina's cousin, who now volunteers for ABDA to help teens understand that dating violence is real and sometimes has deadly consequences. Good morning to both of you. Thank you for joining me. And Erica, I know that we talked yesterday. You said you were the cousin Sabrina looked up to. That had to be very difficult for you to see all of this happen. How difficult has it been for the family to deal with this loss, even these many years later?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, obviously it's not something you ever plan for or imagine that could happen. You know, this is worst case scenario. You know, first love, first dating, they don't have that knowledge there. So, you know, it was very impactful for the family, as you can imagine, because it's not something you could ever imagine that's going to happen to you or someone you know.
Maisha, ABDA pushed for this law that recently passed. It requires schools now to go ahead and teach about abuse, educate the students. Why have you thought this was so necessary, and what do you hope will become of it?
Well, we want to make sure that there is a real effort around prevention, and the way that we prevent this particular crime of domestic abuse is to get to the students right away, educate them, get in their world, and be able to communicate with them directly about what is actually happening to them, and to give them the tools and resources to make different choices. And that's what we hope this effort will ultimately culminate into.
Erica, the exposure of all of this as a topic would be very helpful as well. Talk about the frustration that you felt when you found out after the fact about some abuse that was going on in Sabrina's relationship and nobody knew about it.
Right. I mean, I think it's super important to just educate this younger generation that, you know, is dating for the first time. They don't have that, you know, the stepping stones. You feel that frustration of like, you should have told someone, or it's okay, you're not going to get in trouble if this is going on. They need to know that it's okay, you know, to reach out to someone for help, to reach out to an adult, to reach out to a teacher, that's not normal. So I mean, I'm super excited that we're putting this act into place. And hopefully, you know, if I can save one life, you know, it can just provide more from there.
Right. Maisha, what kind of teaching is going on now, and what kinds of programs does ABDA have to help fill the void and help the educational process?
Sure. So we're already in schools, Canberra. We provide evidence-based curriculums, usually things like one called Safe Dates, another one called Live Respect. These are 8-week curriculums designed to give teenagers and youth an idea about what healthy relationships look like, what consent looks like. We educate them around things that happened in Sabrina's case, where, you know, there's these sort of known instances of abuse. They tell their friends, you know, the friends get a picture or a photo, but, you know, they're advised don't say anything. Again, that fear, that shame, they think that they might get in trouble. And certainly they don't want to lose the relationship. They don't want the abuse, but they don't want to lose the relationship. And so we want to educate youth about how to navigate those situations and circumstances, and to be able to communicate with an adult, someone who's trusted, and not feel that they're, you know, ratting out their friend or they're doing something that will hurt their friend.
Right.
Ultimately, this is a way for them to recognize that this type of behavior is not acceptable.
So looking back on the history of this whole terrible tragedy, it was a bittersweet moment I saw on video when Drake actually called attention to Sabrina's death during his concert that year, when he found out that she had actually been saving up to attend his concert. Erica, talk about the challenge of getting through to young people about some of the issues of teen domestic abuse and about what normal behavior should look like. What kinds of things are you telling these young people?
Yeah, so like Maisha said, a lot of people don't have the warning signs, or they don't want to get in trouble, or they don't, you know, want to rat out a friend. They say, you know, oh, I love them, like I don't want to hurt them. And I think it's important for, you know, these young females to know a healthy relationship. You know, yes, it might be cute and all if someone's jealous and they want to know where you are, you know, all the time, like, oh, he's, you know, all into me. But no, those are early warning signs of an abusive relationship, whether it be physical, verbal, controlling. There's multiple forms of domestic violence out there. And I think getting the awareness out there to what is healthy in a dating relationship and what is not healthy. I mean, it all starts, you know, from younger generation and learned behavior.
So February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. Maisha, what's your biggest hope for the kind of exposure this month will hopefully generate?
We want to sort of get a groundswell going where there are adults, parents being aware that there's a need to have these communication, educators being aware that there's the need to have this communication, but then also having the kinds of dialogue that teenagers will receive. They will hear and they'll take it on themselves. You know, they are the experts at social media and making communication through that mechanism. So we're trying to be as creative as possible to, again, touch youth where they are and give them the tools to be able to help one another.
Right.
It is really critical that we engage everyone in this process and do everything we can. So being on your show and doing anything that we can to let people know that there is such a thing as teen dating violence and that there is an opportunity for us to prevent it and certainly to prevent death and loss. We can do a lot better.
Maisha Coulter, Erica Rivera, thank you so much for your commitment to this cause. Good luck as you try to change the narrative. We hope that we are helpful in some sort of way toward doing some of that. I'm going to put the ABDA information on the Newsmakers page so people can get to that as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kendra. Good to see you.
Just ahead. Thank you. Good to see you as well.